Good evening, and thank you for attending tonight's event, where Waco ISD has the opportunity to celebrate our single greatest assets, our teachers. At this time, I am honored to present the 2013-2014 Waco ISD Outstanding Teachers of the Year. Thank you, teachers. You can sit. It's a great group. There are many people responsible for tonight's celebration, but I want to take some time to thank a few people individually. Thank you to the entire staff of University High for being such gracious hosts this evening. A special thank you to the Waco High School Texas Association of Future Educator members for being tonight's ushers. The beautiful music in the foyer was the very talented University High Symphony Orchestra, led by David Weigert. And at this time, I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of colors, led by the University High Junior ROTC Color Guard, led by First Sergeant Leonard Montalongo, Jr., and remain standing for the pledge, led by Noah Garner, a fourth grader from Mountain View Elementary.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Noah. And now you may all be seated. At this time, Ms. Blanca Valdez from Kendrick Elementary, the 2012-2013 Waco ISD Outstanding Elementary Teacher of the Year, is here tonight to give the opening statements.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to be here tonight to honor and recognize the outstanding teachers that represent all the teachers in our district who inspire, motivate, encourage, and engage students daily. Congratulations to each of you for having chosen by your peers as Outstanding Teachers of the Year for your campus. Your countless hours of dedication and hard work make a significant impact in our schools, and your commitment to your student success is inspiring. You are deserving of the highest of recognition. It is a beautiful thing when a career and a passion come together. It is clear to me today that we are in the presence of passionate educators who are giving the best effort to improve the standards of education available to their children in our community, and who recognize that teaching is a privilege. Teaching is more than a job. Teaching is more than a career. It is more even than a vocation or a calling. It speaks to those who have a strong sense of commitment to others and to the future of our society. Krista McAuliffe once coined the phrase, "I touch the future, I teach." As educators, we are surrounded every day by young people who will shape our future. The teachers we honor today understand that they serve a purpose larger than themselves. They understand that the ultimate goal in education is not only to teach lessons, but to light the fire in our kids to encourage them to become lifelong learners, to raise our children's expectation for themselves and never give up on them, no matter how challenging it might be, because children hold our future in their hands. And for all those reasons, I thank these outstanding teachers with all my heart for their hard work and for devoting their lives to inspiring our kids. I firmly believe that tomorrow's world is going to be a better place because of you and because the difference you are making in our students' lives. Thank you and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Valdez. And now, Matthew Rambo, who is formerly at Waco High School and was Waco ISD's Outstanding Secondary Teacher of the Year for 2012-2013, and who is now in our curriculum department for Waco ISD. Mr. Rambo?
Evening. It's a great privilege to be here today, honoring these great men and women. Talk about being in the presence of greatness. I'd like to begin by sharing a Japanese proverb with you. It basically ends with, "It's better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher." It's been proven that the single most important factor influencing student achievement and success are quality teachers. Did you know that your students, by the time they graduate from high school, have been in school for over 15,000 hours? They've had over 50 teachers, but they're going to remember you. 20 years from now, they may not remember how to solve an algebraic equation. They may not be able to write a persuasive essay, but they're going to remember you. They will remember you because you had a significant impact on their lives. Yeah, you educated them in reading, writing, math, science, social studies. But you did something more important than that. You inspired them, you motivate them, you encourage them. And that's something that cannot be measured. Your contributions to this district and this community cannot be compared. They're tremendous, they're far-reaching. The future of our community of Waco is critically tied to your success. I applaud you for your efforts, and I thank you for your dedication. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I would like to recognize a special group in attendance with us this evening. Waco ISD Board of Trustee members give of their time unselfishly. They volunteer to work in a very, very hard volunteer position. You know, you aren't always given the recognition that you deserve, and we would like to say thank you so much. Joining us tonight are President Pat Atkins, which you'll hear from in a few minutes, Vice President Alan Sykes, if you'll stand, Secretary Norman Manning, Mr. Larry Perez, and Miss Angela Tikal. Thank you guys so much for being here. And at this time, I'm honored to introduce Mr. Pat Atkins, President of the Waco ISD Board of Trustees, to give an official greeting from the board.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate and recognize 24 of Waco ISD's best teachers. Now, typically, if you look in your program, you'll see that Dr. Bonnie Kane would usually give these opening remarks, but tonight, she and representatives of the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy are in Washington, D.C. Our Advanced Manufacturing Academy was recently the recipient of a multi-million-dollar grant awarded by the federal government's Magnet School Assistance Program. And Dr. Kane regrets that she cannot be in attendance, but she is proud of the accomplishments not only of these teachers, but of all the great things happening in Waco ISD. And I just confessed to the folks over here in the wings that when I heard Dr. Kane wasn't going to be here tonight and I had to do her speech, I was tempted to do it in my best Dr. Bonnie Kane imitation. And as much as I talk to her, I have got that thing down. It is spot on. But because there are video cameras here and she will ultimately see it, I think we will err on the side of discretion and play it straight. So here we go. The men and women that we honor tonight have chosen to work in the teaching profession because of their undying love for learning and a special calling to educate and shape tomorrow's leaders. To those of you that we recognize this evening, you are in the limelight because your coworkers have noticed your professionalism both in and out of the classroom, and they have personally witnessed the mutual love, respect, and admiration that you share with your students. More importantly, they've noticed how your students grow in knowledge and self-confidence each day because of the great things happening in your classrooms. Earlier today, one of my heroes and a global symbol of patience, humility, racial healing, and reconciliation, Nelson Mandela died. And Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." And all of you sitting on this stage tonight have shown through your abilities that you are helping further that process of incrementally changing our world for the better. Lastly, I should note that although we are honoring you tonight, this process doesn't end here. Next spring, 2 of you will be chosen as the Elementary and Secondary Teacher of the Year and will represent Waco ISD in the Regional Teacher of the Year award process. Regardless of who's chosen, there's no doubt that Waco ISD will be well represented by truly outstanding and inspiring educators. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and all the representatives of the district here this evening, congratulations, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Waco ISD is strongly connected with the city of Waco and our surrounding communities. One example of this is our enduring partnership with the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce. Joining us tonight is Mr. Matthew Metters, President and CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening. It's truly a pleasure to join you tonight for this wonderful celebration. Let me begin by extending my warmest congratulations to the educators being recognized this evening. This is a special moment for you. You are being honored and applauded by your peers, leadership, and community for exemplary performance in your profession. You have proven yourselves as some of the best of the best. You have established yourselves as innovators, role models, and mentors. Tonight is your night. I encourage you to enjoy every moment of this evening's gathering. Congratulations to you. And to all of the educators who are here in this room this evening, I extend my sincere appreciation to you for the work that you do. You have a deeply rewarding job, and you have a tough job. I know, not firsthand, but from many conversations I've had with teachers through the years, including my brother, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. I've seen their faces light up at family gatherings, and they talk about the potential of some of their current students, as well as some of the great accomplishments of some of their past students. And yes, I have seen the frustration and the sadness as well as they talk about some of the great challenges they face in the classroom. My message to you tonight is, press on. We need you. You are crafting the future of our nation and our state and our community. And our kids need you. You are crafting their future. These are powerful realities, and it is impossible for me tonight to overstate the significance of the work that you undertake. So let me end where I began, and simply congratulate all of you who are being honored this evening on your accomplishment and your recognition, and also extend my warmest thanks to all of you who teach our children. I want you to know it's appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Metters. We would like to express appreciation to those in the community who have made this evening special. HEB Plus, Waco No. 1, which we all know is the newest HEB in town, Penley Party Productions, First National Bank of Central Texas, School of Education, Baylor University, and the Kiwanis Club of Waco Seniors. We also have 3 other special businesses that we would like to recognize. Joe Nesbitt of Central National Bank, who each year presents a $1,000 award to the outstanding Waco ISD Principal of the Year. Richard Carr of Richard Carr Motors, who each year presents a $1,000 award to the District Outstanding Secondary Teacher of the Year. This award is given in loving memory of Mr. Gordon Roundtree. George Chase of Insurers of Texas, who presents a $1,000 award to the District Outstanding Elementary Teacher of the Year. Let's give each of them a round of applause for their generosity. What better way to understand what it means to be a teacher than to hear from their students? I would like to introduce 2 students who will tell us what a teacher means to them. First, Samantha Almendarez from Kendrick Elementary.
Teachers are important. They have many things that they need to do to be good teachers. One quality they need is patience. A patient teacher doesn't get mad or frustrated easily. Another quality is the ability to explain new ideas and concepts so that students make good grades and are prepared for the next grade. Teachers also need to have creativity. This is because the lesson needs to grab the student's attention like an author grabs the reader. The creative and fun way of learning will certainly keep their attention on her. Lastly, a teacher must involve the students to make sure they're learning and paying attention. As a pre-K teacher, Ms. Valdez needs and has all these qualities. She has great patience with the kids, even when they cry or argue with each other. She also explains things in a way little pre-K minds can understand. Creativity is also something she has. She teaches them through games and artwork, and little kids are all about having fun. Ms. Valdez makes sure no child is left out. She involves everyone. So with the many great qualities Ms. Valdez has, she is naturally a wonderful teacher, and I am proud that she was awarded Teacher of the Year last year.
Thank you so much, Samantha. And now Travion Freeman from Waco High School.
Good evening to all WISD outstanding teachers, school officials, families, and friends. My name is Travion Freeman, and I'm an 11th grader at Waco High School. I am an all-A student who takes AP and dual credit classes. I also participate in extracurricular activities, such as football and jazz band. As a student athlete and musician, I find it a great honor to be able to speak at this 2013-2014 Outstanding Teacher Ceremony. For it took great WISD teachers like those being honored here tonight to inspire, motivate, and educate me to strive for success. Arthur Richard L. Evans once said, "Children will not remember you for the material things you provide, but for the feelings that you cherish them." My teachers here at WISD have made me feel cherished in my educational pursuits. Each WISD teacher, especially those honored tonight, has had a lasting impression on our lives as students. I know my teachers have taught me that knowledge is power. They'll also patiently work with me while teaching me the importance of self-discipline. I remember in the beginning, I struggled in school. I started my kindergarten and first grade year at J.H. Hines Elementary. My family sent me to Sylvan, Baylor Tutoring, and Hillcrest Speech Therapy. They also sent me to ongoing tutoring sections with my grandmother and great aunt, who were also retired WISD teachers. My family was deeply concerned. However, my J.H. Hines first grade teacher, Miss Allie, never gave up on me. She got with my parents and developed a tutoring guide for my educational success. She encouraged me that I could do it, but I had to stay focused. With the help of Miss Allie and my family, I excelled on to the second grade. My second through fifth grade years, I attended Alta Vista Montessori. Their learning was still hard for me, but I had WISD teachers such as Miss Cavill and Miss Sauer. They came early and stayed late to make sure my educational foundation was sturdy. I reached sixth grade at Carver Middle School, and a light bulb popped on in my mind. I bloomed and began to understand the material more. I began to make straight A's. However, there was a possibility that I didn't understand. I had Miss Beverly Johnson, who was then a WISD teacher. She kept on an open door policy in our classroom and made herself available to provide on ongoing questions. Finally, I am here at Waco High School, and learning comes easy most of the time. I still have some material that might be hard to comprehend, which is normal for students. But for the most part, I have mastered it. I have straight A's by striving to do my best. Although learning comes easy, I still have the common dilemmas of being a high school student dealing with extracurricular activities while balancing schoolwork. Sometimes I feel that I have fallen short when I can't reach my expectations. However, I then walk down the halls of Waco High, and I see nurturing smiles from teachers and mentors such as Coach Herbst, Coach Graves, Mr. Heller, Mr. Stuhler, Coach Weeks, Ms. Giddings, and Ms. Saxenian, just to name a few. This gives me the motivation that anything worth having is worth working hard for. So as I conclude, I would like to honor the outstanding teachers tonight, for they never realized their wisdom has changed the outlook of their students. Each teacher here tonight has given themselves something, sometimes receiving little in return. However, realize that giving is not in vain, for there are students like me that are embracing your shared knowledge and running with it. For I realize that I am a student today, but a future leader of tomorrow. Thank you once again, and I would like to close with this poem written by an unknown author as a tribute to our teachers. Teachers, it takes a special person to teach a child in class, to just keep his attention in a world that moves so fast, to show a child he is unique with talents deep inside, to help him build his confidence so he can beam with pride, to show a little patience for a child who's lost his way, to a child who feels abandoned, who has seen better days, to inspire and motivate so a child can learn and grow, to go into the big wide world that has its highs and lows. You are a special person. You always give your best. And for every child you has in your class, they are truly blessed. Congratulations, 2013-2014 WISD Outstanding Teachers.
Let's give each of those students another round of applause. I am pleased to announce two very special awards. Each of the teachers will be presented a certificate of congratulations from Senator Brian Birdwell's office. They will also receive a heartfelt award given by the Paul and Jane Meyer Family Foundation. At this time, I would like to call Dr. Terry Patterson, Executive Director of Elementary Education, and Dr. Chris Everett, Executive Director of Secondary Education, to help with the honors. Teachers, as we recognize each of you, please come forward to the front of the stage where members of the Waco ISD School Board will present the Outstanding Teacher Award, a rose, a check from the Paul and Jane Meyer Family Foundation, and a certificate of congratulations from Senator Brian Birdwell. Please pause for us to take your picture, and then you may return to your chair. Dr. Patterson?
I know that this is the moment you've really been waiting for, isn't it? It is my deep honor and privilege to introduce to you the outstanding elementary teachers for 2013-14. Our first, Catherine De La Pena, Alta Vista Elementary, pre-kindergarten. Catherine's principal writes, Mrs. De La Pena is a model teacher in all respects. She is passionate about what she does and always has a smile on her face, a clear sign that she loves teaching children. She relates to her students in an amazing way that brings out the best in all of them, and her positivity radiates to inspire everyone who walks through our doors. Catherine De La Pena. Diane B. Arneson, Bells Hill PDS, 5th grade. Principal Cohn shared the following. Diane is an awesome teacher. She is dedicated to meeting the needs of her students. She is passionate about her work and wants all of her students to be successful. She is a wonderful mentor to new teachers and Baylor interns. Her 5th grade students say that she encourages them and knows how to teach them well. They say that she gives them a job to do. They describe her as being funny, smart, awesome, and cool. Diane Bjarnason, Bellshill. Crystal Perales, Brook Avenue Elementary, Kindergarten. Her principal writes, "As a principal, it is comforting to know that my students are in the hands of an outstanding teacher. Mrs. Perales is a teacher that others look to for advice, academic suggestions, and creative ideas to encourage student learning. Every morning we say the Bronco Pledge together as a campus family. This pledge describes Mrs. Perales. I believe in myself, and I am here to succeed. I am respectful, responsible, safe, and prepared. I will do my best because everything I do today will affect my tomorrow. I am Bronco, I am proud. Thank you, Ms. Perales." Angela McKinney, Cedar Ridge Elementary, 5th grade Math and Science. A fellow teacher writes, "I have been fortunate to work on the same grade level with Angela McKinney for several years. She is very passionate about her job and is a great team player and leader. She will always step up and do whatever needs to be done for her students and co-workers. She is organized and dependable and always looks for different ways and techniques to ensure the success of her students. She is an asset to the teaching profession. I'm thankful to have her on my team." Angela McKinney. Tanya McKinney, no relation, Crestview Elementary, 2nd grade. A parent writes, "My son Rylan was moved to Miss McKinney's class last year. Before that, I knew he was having some difficulties, but never had been communicated with just how much he was struggling. Mrs. McKinney took her time to look back on previous years and find his areas of weakness. Even though my son had to repeat 2nd grade, I feel like she was a true lifesaver to him and to me. He is truly blossoming this year, and I feel that a big part of that is thanks to Mrs. McKinney." Tanya McKinney. Allison Davis, Dean Highland Elementary, pre-kindergarten. Her principal writes, "When one enters Allison Davis's classroom, you can instantly feel the love in the air. Mrs. Davis establishes a loving relationship with all her students, which translates to her classroom being one large happy family. The children are highly engaged in learning and flourish both academically and socially throughout the year. Miss Davis has earned statewide recognition for her excellence in teaching. She is truly awesome. The staff is proud to have Allison Davis represent Dean Highland as an outstanding teacher." Allison Davis. Patricia Whitley, Hillcrest PDS, kindergarten. A fellow teacher writes, "Miss Whitley is an outstanding teacher with high expectations who believes that every student is unique and important. Mrs. Whitley teaches the whole child while instilling life lessons, manners, and most importantly, opening their eyes to see that all their dreams are possible. The word outstanding only begins to describe the person that she is." From a coworker, friend, and parent of one of Miss Whitley's students, Patricia Whitley. Kristen Pliscott, J. Chines Elementary, pre-kindergarten. Mrs. Pliscott is an exemplary teacher who is a rising star in her profession. Her exemplary practices in the implementation of campus leadership of conscious discipline is a model for her fellow teachers. She has shown courageous teacher leadership in transforming our campus to a positive, supportive environment, one of relationships and teaching of social and emotional skills. Mrs. Pliscott is truly a lifelong learner who is continually looking for ways to improve herself and her team. Ms. Pliscott exemplifies the idea that you don't have to have an administrative title to be an influential educational leader in the 21st century. Kristen Pliscott. Miranda Romero, Kendrick Elementary, 4th grade. Her principal writes, "Whatever the job and whenever it needs to be accomplished, Miranda will get it done. Even while out on maternity leave last year, her fourth grade students still made huge progress and gains on STAR. No matter who walks into her classroom, they get taught and taught well. Her ability to build and maintain relationships with students makes them want to learn. She is truly an example for others. Miranda Romero. Haley Dean, Lake Air Montessori, 7th and 8th grade, math and science. A fellow teacher writes, as a first-year teacher last year, I saw all the same things your typical newbies do. I needed guidance, encouraging words, resources, and even just a reassuring smile. It didn't take me long to find out that through Haley Dean, I was provided all of those things. I am beyond thankful I was able to watch her and learn from her in my first year of teaching. She seeks excellence in all that she does and never neglects to remember that everything teachers do should be for the benefit of the kids. Haley Dean, Lake Air. Kimberly Scoggins, Mountain View Elementary, 4th grade. Kim Scoggins truly exemplifies the traits of an outstanding teacher. She is super organized, plans exciting hands-on lessons, and truly goes above and beyond to ensure that her students learn and succeed. She personally cares about each and every student, and they know that. Discipline problems are almost non-existent in her classroom due to the students being engaged in the learning process. It has been a joy to watch Ms. Scoggins mature from being a pre-K aide while completing her student internship to being a successful 4th grade teacher in her 5th year of employment. Kimberly Scoggins. Crystal Stanford, Parkdale Elementary, 4th grade, Elar, Texas history. Interesting. A former student writes, Miss Stanford is one of the best teachers you can have. If I could be with her class forever, it would be just fine with me. She taught me how to multiply better. She also taught me how to do this fun thing called lattice. You're probably wondering what that is. Lattice is a fun way to multiply. Another thing she did was help me out a lot, and I like that. She encouraged me so I could pass on to 5th grade. I don't know about anybody else, but I miss her a lot. I'm so glad she got outstanding teacher. I miss you a lot. Crystal Stanford. Jamie Ochoa, Provident Heights Elementary, kindergarten. A first-year teacher writes, Mrs. Ochoa has shown me what a great teacher looks like. She always answers my questions kindly and with a great smile on her face. As a new teacher, I am very thankful to God for putting her in my way. Mrs. Ochoa, I would like to be you when I grow up. Jamie Ochoa. Devin Sharp, South Waco Elementary, PPCD. A guardian and grandparent of one of her students writes, there are no words to describe Devin Sharp. When you have a special needs child, you become very critical and you want the best for your child. Well, she's met my expectations. She is very professional, very reassuring, and is dedicated to her class. What child wants to go to school 7 days a week? My grandson does. So we try to avoid going by South Waco Elementary on the weekends because he thinks Mrs. Sharp is waiting on him to start class. We just love that, Mrs. Sharp. Devin Sharp. Monica Richmond, West Avenue, 4th grade. Assistant Principal Vicki Stone writes, her deep desire is to help children learn, and it's amazing to watch her and her willingness to be a team player. Not only is Mrs. Richmond a passionate teacher, but she is a cheerful and dependent campus leader. Mrs. Richmond is always willing to assist, whether it is staying late to help other teachers or helping with campus needs. She works over and beyond what is expected. Words can't adequately express our gratitude for you, Mrs. Richmond, and all that you do to assist the students and staff on our road to success. Monica Richmond.
Thank
Thank you so much, Dr. Patterson. And now the Director of Secondary Education, Dr. Chris Everett.
Okay, secondary, here we go. Kelly Gonzalez, GL Wiley Opportunity Center, 6th through 8th grade math. A fellow teacher writes, there are only a few outstanding teachers chosen yearly. Mrs. Gonzalez is a great choice for the group designated. Having been around the alternative campus for several years requires a great deal of nerves. For a small-statured lady, she has a great deal of nerves. She has also continued to display a big heart, great smile, and an unquestioned willingness to help others. It has been and will continue to be a privilege to work with such a giant person. Waco ISD is fortunate to have such an outstanding person educating their children. Ms. Kelly Gonzalez. Julie Pena, Cesar Chavez Middle School, 6 through 8 ESL. The principal writes, it is with great confidence and enthusiasm that I am recommending Julie Pena for Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Pena has been an outstanding leader on our campus and is highly respected by her colleagues. She is passionate about the students she serves and expects nothing less than their best. Julie is a team player that relates to students from diverse backgrounds. Her effectiveness and success in the classroom is evident in how well her students have performed. Ms. Pena has definitely been and will continue to be a huge asset to Cesar Chavez Middle School. Julie Pena. Shawan Pearson, G.W. Carver, 6th and 7th grade reading and math. The principal writes, it is my distinct pleasure to honor Shawan Pearson as Carver Middle School's Outstanding Teacher of the Year. She has excellent writing and verbal communication skills and is highly dependable. Shawan is always willing to offer her assistance and volunteered this past summer while we were getting established. She was here almost daily helping us to get acclimated to Carver. She sets strong expectations for her cheerleaders and her students. She keeps her students engaged at a high level daily. Shawan is always willing to go above and beyond to meet the needs of our students. Shawan Pearson. Shamise Sora, Indian Spring Middle School, 8th grade English Language Arts and Reading. The principal writes, I am honored to have Mrs. Sora as one of my bulldogs on a mission. She is a true professional with whom I can literally say I have watched grow into the profession over the years. Mrs. Sora's students are always challenged academically to be the best that they can be, and in her classroom, failure is an unknown word. Indian Spring Middle School is elated to have Mrs. Sora represent the faculty, staff, and students and our parents as our 2013-2014 Outstanding Teacher. I want her to know that, as she often says to me, she is a true tiger. Shamise Sora. Jennifer Coons, Tennyson Middle School, 8th grade English Language Arts, ESL. Her principal writes, Mrs. Coons' classroom is a positive and open-ended learning environment. When walking into her classroom, you can often hear educational chaos and noise. In theory, this means that her students are actively engaged and fully participating in the lesson. Mrs. Coons' greatest attribute is her ability to build caring and meaningful relationships with all of her students and her willingness to be a team player in several areas. Mrs. Coons leads the Tennyson Middle School English Language Arts Department, serves as our ELL chairperson, and is an 8th grade girls coach. Ms. Coons is able to meet the testing standards, but her students know that she cares for them first and foremost as individuals and then as students. Jennifer Coons. Mary Evans, Brazos High School Credit Recovery Center, 7th and 8th grade math. A fellow teacher writes, Miss Evans is fun and inventive with her teaching. She thinks outside the box and understands the way students use technology. She is straight with her kids and a wonderful role model for them. One of her students wanted us to add, Miss Evans is the best math teacher. She never gives up on us, and she pushes us to get to the top. Mary Evans. Janae Beecham, University High School, 10th grade English 2 pre-AP. A fellow teacher writes, when Miss Beecham talks about teaching English, her eyes light up and she gets a smile on her face. She is truly in the profession because she loves teaching. She also has an unconditional love for her students, and she always takes her students' best interests at heart. One of her students wrote, "In my opinion, Miss Beecham is more than a teacher. She's my school mom. She has shaped me as a writer, but more importantly, as a person. She has been there for me every time I thought my little teenage life was ending. Always my rock. Oh yeah, and we wear pink on Wednesdays." Janae Beecham. John Weeks, Waco High School, Algebra 1. A fellow teacher writes, when you step into Coach Weeks' classroom, the first thing you notice is the amount of energy that this man puts into educating his students. It's truly amazing and inspirational to watch the amount of concern that he has for the education of his students. John Weeks is a humble man. Coach Weeks didn't want this recognition, but he certainly deserves it. I am proud to work with a teacher like John Weeks. James Watley, Guama, 11th, 12th grade science. The principal writes, a great teacher affirms what ultimately matters in education: immeasurable lessons and the enduring relationship a teacher cultivates with his students. A great teacher offers students hope, reinforces our beliefs in goodness, and continuously reaffirms the power of education. Mr. Watley's energy and veracity is infectious in his classroom. Like a snake charmer, his students are whistled into physics and rocketry action, spellbound by his knowledge and charisma of the subject. We at the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy are very fortunate to have such a dedicated person on our staff, James Watley.
Thank you so much, Dr. Everett. Students from the A.J. Moore Academy of Hospitality and Tourism at University High School have prepared refreshments for you in the lobby. We would love to invite everyone to join us out there for the reception following.
At this time, I would like to ask all of our 2013-2014 Waco ISD Outstanding Teacher of the Years to rise. One more round of applause. Thank you, teachers. We'll let you go first.